Hi, and welcome to Art with Mrs. K. The first thing you want to do is have paper that is cut into a square, equal square. So this is 8 by 8 inch cardstock, and you can also use construction paper. I think that's probably a better idea because this is a little bit too thick, but I can work with it. It's just I'm not sure younger students are able to fold it as easily. Since this is an origami project, you want to make sure it's easy for your students. So either an 8 by 8 inch square or a 10 by 10 inch, depending on how big you want to make the circle of the eye. So that we start by folding this in half. I use my fingernail to make sure I get a clean line. And now you have 2 triangles, and you're going to go ahead and fold it in half again so that you will have 4 triangles when you're done. Okay, so now we're folding it in half again. And this is how it should look. You should have 4 triangle shapes on your paper. And now we're going to go ahead, and it doesn't matter what side, you're just going to take one side and you're going to fold one section in to make another little fold. See? And then you're flipping it over, doing the same thing on the other side. I use my fingernail again. You can also use a bone folder if you have one, but don't worry about it. And then we're going to fold it one more time. We're going to meet up that middle line and have this side too. Okay, now we should be able to open it up and see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this section here and fold it in. So the first fold I'm going to fold in, and then I'm going to fold it again, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So this is going to be the area where your eye is going to be placed, and I will start with a pencil and show you how large you need to make it. So you don't want to make it too big, but you don't want to make it too small either. So we're going to make it about the width of that area. You can also use a cup if it's about the same width of this line here. And then you're going to draw a pupil and make a little indent right there. That's going to be the white part of his eye. You're going to make a really faint circle that comes out from there. So you're not going to fill this part in with Sharpie or trace or anything. You're just going to trace this part in with Sharpie. Take your Sharpie, trace it, go around this section only, fill the entire thing in. And then go around the edge with your Sharpie. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, because remember this is an eye and eyes don't have to be perfect, but I make it a little bit thicker around the edge, so I go around it a little bit more. If you have one of those thicker magic markers, those are always good too. And then I just start making some lines, really thin lines. And I erase that circle that I drew so that I could guide my Sharpie marks. And I'm going to make this dragon's eye blue. So I'm taking color sticks from Crayola and using those to color in. I press pretty hard on the outer edge just to make it dark, and then I'll come in and a little bit lighter as I come in further. See how I'm lightening up? I'm not pressing as hard. I'm just coming in gradually, going around, and then just sort of softening up and stopping. Oop. The last thing I want to add is a little bit of yellow along the pupil because it is a dragon. And that is it. So for the dragon's eye we're done, but it's going to need an eyelid. So what I do is I take this section here and I place it on another piece of paper so you don't get it all over your desk, and then just make a line, a thick line, and then draw some eyelashes and make them small and large depending, and then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. And you can see it's starting to form into an eye, but what we're going to do is flip it over, and we're going to take and fold it so that this end meets the middle, and try to press really hard so you make sure you get it folded correctly. And then also on this side. Okay, so now you can kind of see it's starting to form, but it needs to be also folded again. But you take this point here and draw down to this point, so it's almost like an imaginary line, but I make the line just so that I can guide myself. And I do the same thing here. So that's basically how it's going to fold into sort of a diamond shape. And I go ahead and get started on folding this section. And as you can see, because I have cardstock, it is a little harder to fold. And this section here, oops, I didn't get it all the way. And this section here. There. So that's what it looks like on that side. But if you flip it over, it looks like a dragon's eye. You can glue this onto black paper and staple it so that it stays open, and have a whole group of these with different colored eyes, which would be really neat as a class. And there you have it, how to make a dragon's eye.